Hi everyone, my name is Michael Butler. I'm a tenor from Bowie, Maryland, and today I'm going to be answering some questions for you. So here we go. I would say my love for singing came sometime during my 6 years of Maryland All-State Choir, where they take kids from ages, I think, 12 to 17 and put them all up in a hotel and say sing 300 kids together for one weekend. So that was a blast, and I think that's how I started to love singing, and later came opera. I kind of have a weird one in terms of diet. I think there was one show where I only ate bananas like a year ago, and I sang really well, so now I sing after I eat bananas and steak. Steak, for whatever reason, I think I had another show where I ate a couple steaks before I sang, and so they kind of contrast in a weird way, but they work for me, and so now I eat bananas and I eat steak before I have a big show. So take that as you may. Well, the aria that I've chosen is Je Crois from Bizet's Pearl Fishers. And in this aria, Nadir does a lot of reminiscing about his once lost love.
Hello, my name is Peter Scott Drackley, and I am a tenor from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Opera and classical music have been a part of my entire life. My mother is a lyric soprano, and my father is a pianist, conductor, and director. My very first experience with opera would be when my mother was singing The Sandman in Hansel and Gretel, and she was pregnant with me, and I would kick when the timpani would play. So you could say that I was destined to be in opera since before birth. My dream come true in my singing career would be to work consistently. As long as I'm singing and singing the music that I love, I'll be happy. I love what I do and who I am, and I don't have to be the next big star to be happy. I would say my favorite music to sing would be Verdi and the Verismo, and moving into some of the more German dramatic repertoire. They are just so thrilling and so much fun, and the characters are so complex. Overall, I think my favorite thing to sing is musical theater. Some of my favorite belting songs in the car are my happiest moments. I have chosen the aria Nessun Dorma from Puccini's Turandot. While I love this aria and it's a lot of fun to sing, the main reason I chose this is because so many people love it. And the reason I do what I do, and the reason I am an opera singer, is to connect with the audience. That is the most important part of what I do.
Some of my earliest memories singing are in my family's 15-passenger van that we had all growing up. And my parents would pick a church song or a folk song, and we'd all sing along and come up with terrible harmonies and stuff like that. But I feel like it was really those moments, the singing with my family, and that really helped me learn to love music and to really appreciate it. So singing and music and performing, I feel, is very important to our communities and society. if it weren't, I don't think we'd see all these different performing venues and community theaters, choirs that people come together and do on their free time. I think it's because music has the power to touch us, to take us from our life and take us someplace higher and help us realize things that we may not have ever realized without it. I was very blessed to go to the grand finals of the Metropolitan Opera Competition, and somehow I won. So that was really crazy, and to sing on the stage with the orchestra was just really a dream come true. I chose A Mes Amis for my aria, and what I love about this aria is how full of energy it is. So if I'm going to a competition or doing a performance, I love to start with this aria because it gets all my nerves out and I can just put it all out there and sing as loud as I want and just have a really good time with the audience.
Hello, my name is Senhica Klee, and I am a tenor from Denver, Colorado. So some of the earliest memories that I think I have of performing are, I actually grew up playing the alto saxophone. I played that for about 10 years. And then along with that, I actually grew up playing the guitar as well. I've played guitar for about 15 or 16 years now. I still do that very often. I was a part of a couple different garage bands with some friends of mine, and we actually recorded some music and, would do local shows, talent shows, and things like that. And as silly as those things may sound, I had such a fun time doing that stuff. And I remember just getting such a rush every time I got to do that stuff with my friends that's definitely when I think the interest in those types of things in the performance world really began to swell. My favorite types of music to sing, honestly, when it comes to the operatic repertoire, I absolutely love singing anything where I can just be romantically expressive. I love singing bel canto, especially some Donizetti. I love singing English repertoire. Anything composed by Benjamin Britten, all the way to contemporary English repertoire. I mean, it feels comfortable. It's always very enjoyable to sing. I also don't mind singing in English. For my performance for you all, I will be presenting Maria from Leonard Bernstein's West Side Story. An absolutely amazing piece of music. From the musical line that Bernstein writes, I mean, it is just so gorgeous, it is so romantic, it is so lovely and just expressive, and all the way to the text that Stephen Sondheim wrote for the show. I mean, it's amazing how saying the same word, the same name over and over again, it does not get boring.
The most beautiful sound I ever heard. Maria, 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 Maria. All the beautiful sounds of the world in a single word. Maria, 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 Maria. I've just met a girl named Maria, and suddenly that name will never be the same to me. Maria, I've just kissed a girl named Maria, and suddenly I found how wonderful
Hello, my name is Kun Park, and I'm a tenor from Los Angeles, California. My earliest memories of performing are from when I was 3 or 4 years old. When my family was still in Korea, we would sing offertories together for our church. As for opera, I didn't really start singing opera or anything at all, really, outside from karaoke or for church until I graduated high school. Music always was in my life. My dad was a musician, self-taught mostly. I remember hearing him play the piano and the guitar every early Saturday morning, and it was a passion of his. I played piano as from third grade, and along the way, I picked up multiple instruments. And so as when I was younger, it seemed like a chore, but I look back and they're all blessings in my life that add on to helping with opera and helping me become a better singer and a musician in general. The aria I chose to submit for this program is Pays Merveilleux au Paradis from Giacomo Meyerbeer's L'Africain. I enjoy singing this because there's a triumphant feeling even within the marvels of the mystery of finding this new island. I think, especially in this time, it's important to be optimistic, even in the face of adversity, and just to always have inner hope and to see the beauty in all things. And yeah, I just think this aria is a wonderful representation of that.
Hi, my name is Alexander Scheuermann. I'm a tenor from New York City. My earliest memory of singing is probably from when I sang O Little Town of Bethlehem in my third grade Christmas musical, and mostly I remember just being scared out of my wits. But I watched the video with my mom a couple years ago, and it was pretty cute, so all's well that ends well, I guess. Singing and music are important to society in general, because singing is expression, and what makes it so much more powerful than listening to just a violin or a flute or piano or something that is wonderful and beautiful and effective is that the instrument is the human voice. It is the human body. And I think that gives it the ability to connect on a much more visceral level than a lot of other art forms. I love to sing Arcadio's aria from Florencia en el Amazonas because I love Daniel Catan's tonal language. I think it's this beautiful combination of Latin music and jazz and those wonderful long vocal lines that we love in Puccini and Verdi, and it just comes together to make something that's really magical.
Hello, my name is James Stevens, and I'm a tenor from St. Louis, Missouri. Some of my earliest memories of singing was when I was in high school. I joined a program through Opera Theater of St. Louis. You would audition as a high schooler, and then you would get paired up with a voice teacher. And I was not very familiar with classical singing, but when I was in this program, I really fell in love with it. I remember the voice teacher that I had gave me a bunch of different kinds of art songs that I sang with him. That it was just incredible. I knew that at that moment that I had to pursue classical singing, and then from there just kind of moved on and studied voice in college. And the aria that I have chosen to sing for this It's actually from a Rameau opera, Hippolyte est en récit. What I love so much about singing this aria in particular is that there's really no other kind of music that's quite like singing the French Baroque. I stumbled upon it, listened to it a whole bunch, and I was super excited to see that Des Moines was doing a Rameau opera. It's just very interesting to me because it really blends recitative and aria, and to me it's very singular in a very specific style of music that you really don't get to hear with a lot of other composers.
Hi, my name is Andrew Turner, and I'm a tenor from Tacoma, Washington. One of the earliest moments of singing I can remember is in high school. I sang for the talent show. It was probably the first time I sang in front of a public audience, and I was super scared. It was so much fun. I enjoyed doing it, but it was also just like nerve-wracking. I think it just made me realize this is something that I want to do. My grandmother has been my greatest inspiration. She has instilled music into my life ever since I was a child. She would tell me that she saw me jump on the piano that we had in our living room, and she literally just took that as an opportunity to share her knowledge of music. I like this piece. I like singing this piece because you really get to show your voice. You sing this beautiful legato line at the beginning, but then in the end, you have an idea, or you get to just show off this passion and this excitement of what he's been wanting this whole entire time.
Quando c'era